Okay. Hey, girls. Thank you so much for taking time to get on this close week Zoom for July 2016. This is Lauren. And first, I want to say happy birthday to Renee Bielajeski. Oh my gosh, you're turning 25 on the 25th. This is your golden birthday. So, Bobby, take a nap for your mommy. She's earned it. You guys, I wanted to get us all together because I have to let you in on a little secret. Um, if you feel like your numbers are low and you're not where you want to be right now, my message to you is join the club. No one's numbers are where they want to be right now. We are having a down month. I'm going to call a spade a spade. There are a few people who are right where they want to be, but for the majority, for the goals that everyone has, numbers are down. It's just kind of the way that it is. And for me, sometimes I feel like it's important to know that. I would never share that on a region Zoom with everybody, but sometimes it's like you just feel like you're in a dark room by yourself. You think you're the only one there, and there's kind of like a sense of like embarrassment that goes with it. And I just want to turn on the lights and you're going to be like, oh, hey, Lauren. Oh, hey, girl. Oh, we're all in here together. Okay, cool. Let's work this out. So really, I'm calling this Zoom Lean In because I want to just have a sense of transparency. I want to turn the lights on among our leadership team, and I want to create a sense of transparency, and then I want to be active about it because I know that this is all workable, and that really it all comes down to how we handle the last week of the month. Because, the answer to this question may be yes, but maybe some people haven't been spending 15 hours a week on their Arbonne business this month. And again, maybe you have, so I'm not going to put words in your mouth. But a lot of times, sometimes we are where we are because we haven't put the effort in or because that effort has been inconsistent. So the first thing I would like for you to do is take a good, hard, honest look at the past 3 months of your business. And the question that I have for you is, have you consistently worked 15 hours a week? Consistently. Have you consistently had the presentations that you need to have to be meeting the amount of people that you need to meet? Have you been consistently sponsoring people who would be amazing at this business? And have you been duplicating what you're doing to your team? And we've talked about this before where sometimes we're like, no, I haven't been duplicating, and I don't really know why, and that's okay. But, if you're not having the presentations that you want to have and you're not putting the time in and, basically if we're not setting the pace, we are going to duplicate that inconsistency and we're going to duplicate the empty calendar. So the reason why I'm saying this is because for me, it always is, sometimes I'm like, why am I having a low month? Why are we all struggling right now? Like everyone's struggling right now. And then I'm like, okay, have I been inconsistent? And that gives me, even though it's not fun to look at, most of the time I see that I haven't been consistent. And so it at least gives it gives a reason why we're here, as opposed to, I've been doing everything perfectly. I've been doing everything the way I want to be doing it. Then you just have to keep pushing through, but if we've been inconsistent, then there are things that we can work on. And that is my favorite place to be. I'd rather be sitting in a position where I can work on things and I can learn from things, So those are just the questions to start out with, have you been consistent? Have you been doing those things, not just this month, but the past 3 months? Because we all know that the work that we put in this month is going to reflect 3 months from now. And this month is a reflection of 3 months before, that's kind of a general rule with Arbonne. So that being said, let's lock arms and move forward in this month, because sometimes people can, they'll come to me and they'll be like, well, I'm really far away from where I want to be. And I think I just, bit off more than I can chew. Or, I think I kind of overshot it a little bit, or I got a little ahead of myself. You guys, no, that you didn't get ahead of yourself. You didn't overshoot it. You just are being tested. And you have to decide how you're going to respond to this testing. And I will never forget when we were, I think it was a week, maybe it was 10 days, regardless, not a lot of time. But when we were finishing region, we needed to do like 55,000, I think. And with a week left in the month, we needed 40,000. We were at 10,000 as a team. That's not where you want to be. That's not where you want to be. And I had a decision to make, you know, and we had been in and out of region qualification for months, you guys. And always, you know, prior to that moment, I had thought, well, I've done everything that I can do. I've led the best that I can. I've had as much activity as I possibly can. You know, if this isn't our month, then it's not our month, but I've given it my all. And that was okay with me. But when I came to that conclusion and I went to bed at night, I was restless and I was not happy and I was not at peace. And that, all those experiences and the times that I feel like I chose wrong and chose to kind of give up, that led to when we were, you know, with a week left to finish region, we had to do 40,000, which the most we'd ever done as a team was 40,000 in 1 month. We had to do that in a week. And I thought, you know, the odds are stacked against us, but I do not care. I am not going to bed. I'm not doing this all over again. I'm not going to bed at night with that uneasiness and that wish that I had done more and that I had just gone for it. So I mapped it out and I put most of it on my shoulders. I think I made myself figure out how to do 10,000 in personal volume. I don't know how I did it. I think honestly, the Lord just kind of honored that decision. But then I led my team, you know, I decided we were going to go and they followed that decision. And so I just want you to know that you may feel like you have the odds stacked against you, but I've been there too. And you have two choices. And I've made both of them. And the first choice is to back down, to give up. Okay. You can do that. You can fold. You can turn in this month. And you can give all these reasons, and they may be really great reasons, but you can give all these reasons why that's a good idea. And here's the thing is, why would you want to do that? Do you really, when you come down to it and when you get down to it, do you really want to do that? You know, like most of the time the answer is no, I don't want to, but I feel like that's what I have to do, or I feel like that's what's realistic, or I feel like anything beyond that is impossible. Let me tell you, lots of people think that way. Lots of people give up. A lot of people quit. A lot of people fold, and a lot of people give in to this idea and this thought that because I'm not where I want to be, because it seems impossible, it must be. But you are not that person. You are an ENVP. You are on track to going nation. And this is a inflection point and a decision point in your journey. And I don't know if you guys are reading that book that Danielle Pearson has been having us read called On Fire, but he talks about having moments of decision points that affect the rest of our lives. And I don't want to kind of spoil it for you. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. Amazon Prime is here. Hold on. Let me sign for it. I'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much. All right. It's the easiest way to get baby formula. Amazon Prime now. But okay, so the book is about this guy who, when he was 9 years old, he was involved in a terrible fire, and he has burns on 100% of his body, third-degree burns. He literally had fire on him. He was engulfed in flames. Like he had to run through fire to get back into his house, and he was standing in his house screaming until his brother had to like beat the fire out of him. So he was on fire for a couple of minutes. That bad. His clothes were melted into his skin. It was very bad. He should never have lived. And at the hospital, he asked his mom, he looked at her and he was like, "Mommy, am I going to die?" And she asked him, do you want to die? And he said, no. And she said, okay, well, the choice is totally, completely yours. You have to decide to fight this out. And he said he made a decision as a 9-year-old that he was going to fight. And against all odds, he fought his way through that recovery. And he should have died. Completely should have died. But he fought his way through it. And it was a decision that only he had to make. And his mom said, we're going to be here to support you, but this is totally your battle, totally your fight, totally your decision. And I look at it and I think, gosh, like, I have dramatized my sufferings in Arbonne so much. Like, oh, it's just so difficult. That's such a difficult decision. When here, this little 9-year-old boy was lit on fire and had to push through it, living in, a hospital room for 8 months, just like, let's get some perspective here. My struggles really aren't that bad. If he can push through that, I can push through this. And I just want you to know that you are not the victim of this month. You are not the victim of cancellations. You are a proactive survivor of those. You're going to push through this and be better and stronger than you were before. The only reason why I know how to push through things is because I've done it. I will never have known how to lead you guys up and out of a month that maybe we're not happy with currently. I would never know how to do that if I hadn't done it before. That was a decision that I had to make in myself. So I want you to know that maybe other people would have given up, and maybe it looks like it's not possible. Maybe it looks like it's not your month, but it is, and that's your choice to make. So I want us to lock arms together, and I want us to really hold the line. And really quick, another, like, holding the line has been something that's been I feel like God's kind of been stirring up in my heart recently. A lot of you guys know that my husband lost a teammate of his and a childhood friend in battle in Iraq. But a lot of people don't know the story behind it. And the short version, because there's a very long version, but the short version is that our friend Charlie was in Iraq, and they were helping this group of Christians. They're called the Kurds. They're helping them fight against ISIS. And it's really like medieval battle, because they have like a line of men lining up in front of their village at all times as to be on watch for ISIS. And one day ISIS just decided they're just going to take out this village. And they had massive amounts of men, and I can't remember, but I think the numbers were at least 4-1. And they started on the horizon. You could see all these trucks covered in metal, marching towards this village. And the men of the village freaked out, and they're like, there's no way we're not gonna win this battle. Oh my gosh, we're all going to die. And so instead of holding the line, they broke and they started running. And our friend Charlie was one of 4 SEAL team guys there. And he saw them all running. He saw the line break, but he has seen enough, my husband's seen enough to know what happens when ISIS conquers a town. The men that didn't escape would be lined up and executed. The women would be raped and killed. The children would be raped and taken as slaves. That's what Charlie knew was going to happen. So Charlie, one guy, decides we're not going to run. He goes to a rooftop, which is the most exposed place that you can go to, and starts firing at ISIS, and basically does so much damage to them that he rallied his guys. So the other 3 SEALs joined him. The 4 of them took on hundreds. I think there was at least 200 ISIS guys, held them, stopped them in their tracks. And they inspired the rest of the Kurds, the men who were running, turned back, saw that Charlie and the rest of them were holding the line, that they had stopped the battle, inspired them to think maybe we can win this. They went back, formed the line again, and they totally won the battle. Charlie was the only one who was even injured, and he lost his life, but he protected and he saved the entire village because he was the one who was brave, who decided, we're going to hold this line, we're going to do this, and we're going to win this battle. And that's a real life story that happened May 3rd of 2016, 2.5 months ago. You know, this is not we're not far really removed from this. And if someone like that can be brave to hold the line and inspire people to realize that the direction of their lives can change, maybe they don't have to die, they don't have to lose their wives and their children, then that's what we can do here in our small little way. We can be brave like that too. And so I really want you to like have this like mentality of holding the line, and it may seem like there's all this stuff coming against you, but it's not. And I want you to not only hold it, but to lead your business forward. I want you to lead your business forward. And the reason why I'm saying leading your business forward as opposed to leading your team is because maybe you think like, my team's not following or don't have a team. But I don't care about that. You have to lead your business forward. Don't be dependent on others. Because when people cancel parties, or when people decide not to order, or people decide not to join our business, those 3 things are what affect our decisions. Those 3 things are what make people want to back down, make people not want to hold the line. But if you base your business off of those 3 things, you're basing them off of other people's decisions. And other people, it's not their business, okay? You're the business owner. You call the shots because you're getting the paycheck. So I want you to lead your business forward. You are not dependent on other people. You are not dependent on cancellations. You're 100% dependent on the decision within yourself, okay? And I'm going to tell you that I've been here before so many times, and it was really helpful for me when I was sharing this with Lindsay. This was like probably, 2.5 years ago, and I was in the first point of really recognizing, okay, my team's not following me anymore. Like my entire business that I feel like I built has left me. And Lindsay goes, I'm rebuilding too, and I was like, you are too, like just know that your team is going to need you to be able to say that you worked through this. So you may not have them right now, but they are coming, but it's dependent on you working through this now. So we're going to lean in. You're going to lean into your business, and you're going to lead it forward. And here's some practical suggestions for you. This is what you do when you rebuild and when you need to do a lot with 7 days. You get brave and you get crazy. And I will tell you what I mean by getting crazy. I was in Starbucks the other day, like 3 or 4 days ago, with a friend of mine having coffee. And this lady approached me and said, I really like your hat, your monogrammed hat. Where did you get it? And instead of telling her, because I actually got it through a friend of mine who has a monogramming shop here in Coronado, I could easily have said, oh, that's where it's from. I said, well, I can get your information and get her information to you later on if that works. So she shared her number and her email address with me. And I called her later and gave her my friend's information, totally chickened out and didn't say anything about Arbonne. We hung up and she thanked me. So then later, I called her back and I said, listen, like this is Lauren with the cute hat. And I know that this is crazy, but I wanted to know if you'd be if you'd be open to meeting up for coffee, because I actually have a business of my own and I'm totally referral based. I don't do any marketing. So I'm always looking to share it with people. Would you be open to listening and hearing a little bit more about what I do? And she was like, yeah, what's the nature of your business? And I said, well, I own a gluten-free vegan company that has products, like over 400 products to meet a gluten-free vegan lifestyle. So I'm always wanting to share it with people because even if it's not you, there may be somebody that that could benefit from a company like that. She was like, oh, cool. Sounds good. So I didn't say Arbonne, and I didn't say, you could become an ENVP and a millionaire. But I just, that's kind of, hopefully maybe that's some verbiage that you can take. But, I just kept sitting there looking at her number thinking like, what do I have to lose? But it was really scary, but I did it. And we have a one-on-one on Wednesday. There's a couple other people where I've done stuff like that. in the past couple of days because that's the point where I'm in my business. I just have to get brave and bold. And most of them are saying yes to meeting up with me. So I want you to talk to the scary people. I want you to get super, super brave. If someone has referred someone to you, whether it's products or business or whatnot, or if you think that someone is very well connected, if they have not listened to an opportunity call, you need to ask them to, like, hey, would you listen to this and give me your feedback? And specifically, I would love for you to listen to it thinking of who you know, because I feel like you know some people who could benefit from something like this. So kind of like, move your business forward through doing a couple things like that. You can run a sale. If you haven't run a sale in a while, you can do a Christmas in July sale. That's pretty much where we're at right now, Christmas in July. And you can book for August. And I challenge you to book 4 parties in the first week of August, because that's going to make up for the activity that maybe was lacking in July, and maybe not because you didn't schedule it or because you didn't work really hard to get there, but maybe it canceled or just didn't come to fruition like you hoped. So make up for that for the first week of August. So you're going to break down what you need to do for the rest of this month. Break down what you need to do and what your team needs to hit this week. And I don't want you to think like this is what's possible, or I was going for area qual and I'm going for a DM bonus. Like, I want you to really go for what you really, really want and map that out, because at some point you're going to have to do it. At some point you're going to have to lean in. Things don't just line up. You don't go area because you have an area. You go area because you decide you're going to create the area. I didn't have a region when we were 40,000 away with a week left to go, but I created one because I decided to go and people followed, So by making this decision and moving forward and leading your business, you're creating the business of your dreams. Really, you are. Please trust me on this. It sounds so fluffy and everything like that, but by really moving forward and deciding that this month is going to be different because you're going to make it different, that's what's going to create the business that you want. The business that's going to give you that time and financial freedom. This is a decision point for you. So be brave and decide to go. What are you going to do today to go nation? What are you going to do today to go nation? Okay. What if you were, 5% away from finishing nation? How excited would you be? Oh my gosh, I'm finally at the top. We've finally done it, but we've got to figure it out. We've got to just figure out this last little piece. I got to just pull out all the stops. I've got to sponsor that girl. I've got to book those parties. Got to do what I've been talking about doing. If you were at that point, what would you do right now? How creative would you get? And I'm telling you that if you make these decisions, that if you lean in, and you hold the line and you lead your business forward, you will be setting yourself up to go nation. This will be a turning point in your business. And I want you to know that I look at you and I see everything that you are and everything that you will be because of the way that you're going to handle where you are right now. And I want you to know that every ENVP has been where you are. Cecilia Stoll has been where you are. Debbie Neal has been where you are. The reason that they're there where they are is because they decided they weren't willing to be where they are anymore. And they don't want to start August 1st having given up. So I want you to be able to go to sleep on July 31st, exhausted, tired, totally spent, but looking at the dashboard and being so proud of yourself. So if you want help mapping out your month, or you want help mapping out this week, let me know. I have a babysitter coming today. I'm going to be doing a lot of my own mapping out because I'm going to be not as active as usually I am in the first week of August, because Sam is going to be deploying sometime between the 3rd and the 8th. That was another thing I wanted to tell you guys, is that I would like for everyone, if we could get our strats done on the 1st, that would be awesome, because I want to be totally present. And I don't know the day that he's leaving. And so anyway, I'm going to be focusing this week on getting everything that I possibly can, because I know I'm not going to be able to next week like usual. But I am totally believing in you. I am cheering for you, and I have been where you are, and I'm just going to empower you and let you know that I am here to help you break down whatever you need to. And I hope that that's helpful. So this was longer as usual than I wanted it to be, but the lights are on. We're on the same boat. So let's lock arms. Let's move forward and know that I love you guys and believe in you. And I can't wait to hear from you later on today. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now. Thanks for listening.